On today's video, I'm going to break down the top 10 reasons why military members are successful flipping houses and how you can be too. All right, let's jump in. I was a military member for almost 20 years. I'm about to retire this year, and I learned a ton in the military, and it shaped me into who I am. I started flipping houses while I was active duty. I built a huge business doing that, flipping and wholesaling houses, and now I'm taking some of those skills, using them in business, and I want to share them with you guys. So I hope this is helpful. All right, the first one is planning and preparation. We spend a lot of time in the military planning and preparing for an exercise or a operation that we're doing. And planning and preparation is key. Same thing in business. I find military members are incredibly successful flipping houses because they do a lot of planning, a lot of preparation, and also they look at things afterwards. What worked, what didn't work, and what could they have done better next time. So planning and preparation is huge, and I see a lot of civilians don't do this as well as military members, and it's likely why they're incredibly successful. All right, the second one is technical skills and learning and taking that time to develop their craft. When I was flying for the military, I spent 3 years in school before I got the opportunity to fly my fleet aircraft. We did a lot of learning, a lot of training, and a lot of technical skills that we had to learn to prepare us for something as in-depth as operating a multi-million-dollar aircraft. So even if you're driving a tank or you're infantry, you have to learn your weapons, you have to learn your equipment, you have to learn so much technical skills that we're just used to doing that. And when we transition to something like flipping houses, what I find is they're used to learning and developing their craft and putting a lot of time and effort into that and studying and understanding the ins and outs of things before they just jump in. So I think the technical skills and the ability for learning is huge. Number 3, they are openly coachable. I find that military members are used to taking orders and getting feedback and understanding what they should and shouldn't be doing by all kinds of people up and down the chain of command. So being openly coachable is massive. I think athletes are really good at this as well, but military members are used to being told what to do and develop themselves and getting orders or giving orders and taking that input from other people to figure out how they can become better. My favorite quote on being openly coachable is from Michael Jordan. He is hands down the best basketball player of all times. I absolutely loved watching him when I was growing up, but he said, "My best skill is that I was coachable. I was a sponge and aggressive to learn." And I feel like there's a lot of military members that come out feeling just like that. All right, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while and are not subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe, you would like this video and share it with a friend if it would be helpful, especially if you know another military member out there or somebody who wants to learn how to become successful flipping houses using the skills that we have in the military. All right, number 4, integrity. And this might not seem like a skill that breeds success, but having that level of integrity is in business, it will make you successful. So showing up and really caring about doing what you say you're gonna do, even when nobody's looking, it is amazing what will happen in your business and your life when you show up with integrity in everything that you do. And the military members that exemplify this, and if you've lasted in the military as long as I have, you have a deep level of integrity and it breeds success in your business and your personal life. Number 5 is leadership. Even if you are an enlisted junior sailor, you have some level of leadership in the very beginning when you enter the military, and as you advance, your leadership skills grow and grow and grow. I didn't realize this when I joined the military, and even when I came out after 15 years of active duty and I was running my real estate business, I didn't realize the level of leadership skill and ability that I actually had until I tried to really break down and figure out why my business was successful as quickly as it was compared to some other people that had not been in the military before. And I think we're just used to it. It's a level of leadership that we learn and we develop over time that we can get people to follow us and buy into our vision and where we're going and talk about that and really get them excited and move them in a direction. And that's what good leaders do and great leaders do, is they move people. They get them to act and they move them in a direction that is usually butting up against their comfort zone, right? They push them to a level that they haven't been pushed before, and people want to be part of that. They want to follow you. They want to do those things. And so that high level of leadership that I see that military members have is definitely why they become successful flipping houses. The next one is extreme ownership. And there's a book by Jocko Willink and Leif Babin called Extreme Ownership. And that's where I'm pulling this information from. It's about taking responsibility for everything in your world. Everything is your fault, right? And as the leader, it kind of goes up with the last reason for success. This leadership ability and this ability to take ownership and responsibility for everything that's going on. I take ownership for everything that I do, and I think a lot of military members do. There's no other finger to point than to point it right at yourself to figure out what could I do better, what didn't I do as well as I should have, and what did I do well in this situation, and analyze that and figure out how you can move forward. So extreme ownership is the key to military members becoming successful. I've got a quote here from that book that I want to read. Jocko and Leif said, "All responsibility for success and failure rests with the leader. The leader must own everything in his or her world. There is no one else to blame. The leader must acknowledge mistakes and admit failures, take ownership of them, and develop a plan to win." So combining this extreme ownership and leadership is massive in military members' success and your success if you want to employ this in your business and your house flipping company. All right, the next one is work ethic and hard work. I feel like military members have a very high level of work ethic. Frankly, when we're on deployment, we have to work nonstop. You don't get a break. We live on the ship, we sleep on the ship, we work on the ship. Everything that we do is basically tied to work for 7-8 months when you're on deployment. And if you're in the Army or you're in the Air Force and you're land-based, same thing. When you're on deployment, you're all in 24/7 military. And even when you're at home, it never really stops. So we have a very high level of work ethic and this hard work capacity. Like we just have the ability to work really hard. And I think that it breeds success in your business as well. All right, the ninth one is decision-making skills. And this is one specifically for me as a pilot. I feel like the decision-making skills that I have and the ability to take information in and make a decision quickly is key. I feel like a lot of people, they kind of go around in a circle over and over and over. They don't actually make a decision. They think about what if, and they don't even decide and they just get stuck. And I think military members do a great job, especially pilots, of making quick decisions with the information that they have and then adapting and adjusting to that based on new information that comes in. So decision making, taking information in, be able to make a quick decision with the information that you have, stick to it until new information becomes available, and then make a pivot. I think military members do an amazing job at that. All right, the last one, and arguably the most important in my mind, next to maybe extreme ownership, is relentless action. Military members take relentless action, and I've seen this time and time again. They don't wait for more information, they just go, right? The last point that I talked about, this decision-making process, they take action, they go, they move forward, and constantly growing and moving forward by taking action. They're learning by doing. We do a lot of on-the-job training, OJT, in the military. And you learn just by doing. You got to jump in and act and do. It's not by reading books. It's actually field training, getting in the aircraft, getting in the simulator, doing things. And that is the big difference that I see why people succeed and fail in this business is a lot of people just sit on the sidelines and wait or make excuses. Military members are taking action and going forward all the time and constantly growing. So what I'm going to ask you is something that somebody asked me one day, and I really had to think about this and it freaked me out. It's like I needed to be taking action all the time. They said, if your hero followed you around for the day, what would they say? And it hit me really hard. I was like, wow, that is a deep question that is about everything that I'm doing. All these 10 items, if my hero followed me around for the day, what would they say about how I was taking action? What would they say about my integrity? What would they say about the responsibility that I took, the work ethic? All of the things that we talked about today, what would they say? So I'm going to ask you this to end it. What would I say if I followed you around for the day? Would you be hitting all these? And if you can dial these things in, your business will change for the better. I promise you that. Take a lesson from the military folks. Figure out how to implement this in your business and your life. It will change your business and change your life. All right, what I want you to do now is hit the link in the description below, and I'm going to show you a video on the challenges that you'll face as a service member flipping houses.